Good evening, everyone. How's everyone's night going? My night's going pretty fantastic. I just witnessed a jam-packed pay-per-view. So much to explore. I don't know how to put it into words what I just witnessed. It was new tag team champions, new X Division champion. Hello, Jared. New TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and you'll never guess who won the tag team championships. Let's all discuss this right now. Okay, so first off, there was a few production issues. I had to rewatch the show for the first three because I had dinner, and then the show wouldn't work, and the production was phenomenal. It was technical issues that we can't really fault Impact for. Technical issues can happen and will happen. Once you run a website, it's possible. So I don't fault them for it, and there's a good thing why there's a replay because I was all caught up. So, anyways, the night kicked off with the K versus Reno Scum. This was a strong, amazing match. I was shocked by it. Reno Scum almost looked victorious, but Rosemary with the mist in the face of Luster, and then with the 1-2-3 to Black Taurus, it was a great match. But the K won. Reno Scum had to unfortunately lose, which is sad for me because I'm a fan of DK and I'm a fan of Reno Scum. I personally thought I was the one that brought him into Impact because I promoted them so much. I promoted them to Impact Management. I showed them the Impact Management. I pushed them onto Impact Management's radar. So personally, for me, it always feels really bad seeing Reno Scum lose, but they can't all win, right? Next up, we have the mist is a helpful weapon. Yes, yes, it is. Um, so yeah. What was I gonna say? I'm blown away right now. Next up was Caleb. Hey, Daniel. Who knows? You may well have. Right? Right? I'm pretty sure I got. There's a few lists of people I've actually put on Impact Radar that I'm gonna go down on the list later. But so next up is Caleb Conley with a K. Caleb with a K. Tino Dashwood versus Nivea and Havoc. This match was a lot of fun. There's a lot of selfies being taken, a lot of sideshow camera shots. But what I have down for this one was this was a very good match, but a very uneasy finish. Tino rolled up by Nivea. Caleb distracted the ref. Havoc came in the match. Then Caleb pushed Nivea, then ended up being rolled up with the loss. So yeah, here's Tino Dashwood being rolled up by Nivea. Caleb comes in, distracts the referee. Havoc comes in to gets Caleb out of the ring, but before Caleb gets out of the ring, he pushes Nivea, so it ends up into a roll pin, and now Tino Dashwood is on top. So the victor goes the spoils by cheating Caleb and Tennille, which I predicted they would win because it seems like Havoc and Nivea are near Splitsville, which is going to be a great match. It's going to be individual matches. It's going to be great. Next up, we have VBD versus Storm and Sabin with Jake something next to the side. This match was phenomenal. It was good. It was solid. It was strong. The finish was a bit confusing. The match was good. During the second half of the match, it erupted into chaos as soon as Jake something and Eric Young got at it. Diener and Sabin bumped into the ref, so the ref was out of action for a brief moment. So Eric Young felt the opportunity to. I will read all the comments after the show after this, and so if you guys want to keep on commenting and name thought and do your thoughts and say what was good about the match tonight, just keep them flowing in. I'll read them afterwards. So the ref was out of action, right? So during that time, Eric Young and Jake Something got involved in the match and ended up on the downside, but on the outside. But out comes Rhino, and he just gores Sabin. Like out of nowhere, he just gores Sabin. So now Rhino is now aligned with VBD, which is confusing because VBD took out Rhino. Now Rhino is joined by VBD. So it's like, what? What's going on? What happened here? So that match was pretty crazy. I predicted Storm and Sabin would win, and Storm and Sabin lost. So that's 2-1. Goes me, the victor. So that was that match. Next match was, now these matches I didn't really write anything down because I've already had them in my head. Next up, we have the Holds Harmless match, which is basically a no holds barred match. I don't know if Impact can say no holds barred. I don't remember any match in Impact history being called a no holds barred. But because I think WWE owns the rights to that match name, I don't think they can say that. So it's a holds harmless match, which is basically no move objectified in the match can be held against them in court. I guess that's what it means. Now this match was absolutely crazy. It was violent, it was brutal, it was fun, it was funny, and it was great. Uh a lot of headshots with frying pans. Not frying pans, cooking sheets. Trash can lids. There was a table involved. Eddie Edwards did a backwards backpack stunner, which was awesome. But the match ended. And Hernandez came out to the ring, but was instantly stopped by Cardona. And during that time, Myers and Eddie were at each other, and Myers pulled out the red rubber loaded weapon thing to put in his sleeve, but Eddie stopped him and he put it in his knee instead and did the loaded Boston knee party to finish the match, which I predicted Eddie would win, and Eddie won. So I'll discuss that later, Dark King. So yeah, that was that match. And now we're on to the championship matches. First championship match of the night is Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Jordan and Jazz. Now this match blew me away. I thought it was going to be like a slow, steady paced match, but it was actually a really solid fucking match. I was impressed. Jazz and Jordan were very impressive. Tasha and Kiera were very impressive. This was actually a really strong, solid match, and I was impressed by it. But in the end, it was Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz with the victory, which was a good match. If you guys missed it, go watch that back on Impact Plus. It was a great match. And still, the Knockouts Tag Team Champions are Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, as my thumbnail preceded. Now, if I remember correctly, was it TJP and Ace Austin next, or was it Diana Perazzo and ODB? I believe it was TJP and Ace Austin next, which another great, fantastic match. A lot of submissions, a lot of high flying abilities. It was crazy as fuck. All these matches tonight were pretty impressive, but this one was really, really good. And unfortunately, TJP lost, which I predicted TJP would win. But what did I predict? Ace. I think I predicted Ace Austin would win. But yeah, Ace Austin won with the fold. And now we have a new X Division champion, right? So now we have a new X Division champion. What's going to go down at these next set of tapings that are going to be at March 14th to March 18th, which is tomorrow? And I already talked to TJP, and he's already on his flight in 11 hours. Everyone's headed back to Nashville. All right. Next up, we have ODB versus Dina Diana Perazzo. Now, this was a good match, too. I expected it to be somewhat not good. I knew it would be a good match, but I didn't think it would be that great of a match. ODB's getting up there in age, and she can still go. I'm shocked. She can still go. It was a good, solid match. A lot of it ended up with technical wrestling on Diana's part, so she was injuring her drinking hand. It's going to be hard to take a drink of the flask now because her arm is injured. But the match ended pretty solid. And it was the Venus de Milo? Is it Milo or De Mayo? De Milo. I just saw that tweet. Oh wow. Is it the Venus de Milo, right? It's Milo, the famous art sculpture in France, I believe. No, not France. Maybe it's France. I don't know. I'm not really cultured. But the Venus de Milo and ODB tapped out instantly to that. No one has fought hard to get out of that match, out of that submission hold. It's very strong. Now I predicted Diana would win, so that's still what? Decay, Caleb and Tennille, VBD. I did not predict the VBD, so that's off. I predicted Eddie Edwards would win. I predicted Fire and Flava. I predicted Diana. I predicted Ace Austin. So I'm only Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers. That might happen eventually. We'll see. So next up, we have the Tag Team Championships. Now, this match blew me away because I knew Finn Juice was going to win, but I wasn't entirely sure that Impact would pull the trigger. It was a great match, fun match. The ring generals I would like to call now are Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. They mostly kept David Finlay, a part of the match, on their side of the ring for half of the match, and Juice Robinson didn't get involved in the match as much. I see Jared picked Finn Juice to win. I picked Finn Juice to win as well. So this match was very strong. I loved it and very much. It was a great match. New Japan's finest. Was not a disappointment. And now we have new tag team champions. An NJPW team is now Impact Tag Team Champions. What does this mean for the company? What does this mean as a whole? What does this mean for New Japan? Are the titles gonna be brought to them, or are they gonna stay on them while they're in Impact? But now we know Finn Juice is gonna be at the next set of tapings. Has to happen now, right? They have to the titles are gonna be brought. I suspect AEW is gonna have to. I don't really know what's gonna go down, but I'm really curious of how this is gonna play out for New Japan, AEW, and Impact, and how the Good Brothers are gonna respond to it on Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, before I get into the main event, there was a little segment involved with the Swingers Palace, which was a very slow segment, but we finally saw Alicia play poker or blackjack. Like, she was always there drinking something and just sitting there chilling, but this time she was actually playing blackjack. Tennille came in and started mouthing off and wanted the Swingers Palace to be her studio room. Oh, I was going to do a boomerang in this little room. And then Alicia's like, you know what? I'm tired of you walking in here. I'm gonna challenge you to a match. Like, whoa, that's funny. I was gonna challenge you to a match. Well, I'm gonna go talk to Scott D'Amore. No, I'm gonna talk to Scott D'Amore. They both go into Scott D'Amore's office and they both talk to Scott, and he's like, we want to match together. In synced. We want to match together. And Scott's like, well, that's funny you guys asked that because I was gonna put you guys in a match together, although it's gonna be a 12 knockouts tag team match. 6 knockouts on one side, 6 on the other. And well, we've got us two. Who's involved? Well, you're gonna have to find out on ImpactWrestling.com to find out who the other 10 are. Wow, I had to actually do that in my head. So there's gonna be a match on Tuesday with the Knockouts tag teams, a knockout tag team match. Wonder what's in store. I wonder if they're gonna bring in some new knockouts for that. More than likely, right? They should. So now on to the main event. This main event was a very rough way to watch. Moose was pretty much overpowering Rich Swann for the most duration of the match. And he started grabbing the hair, which I cringed every time he grabbed the hair. No one likes their hair being pulled out. Trust me, from a guy that's almost bald. This is why I wear a beanie. I don't like showing my hair. So yeah. So that match was very physical. I was actually surprised that Moose actually Moose lost the match. Rich won the match, and it was due to Moose's demise because Moose put a steel chair in the match. And during the match, we completely forgot about the chair, but there was some main event spots in this match that I need to talk about. There was this one thing Moose did where he lifted Rich off his flare and he did a full 450 backdrop. It was insane. And then there was the stand-up moonsault slam that he did. I mean, Moose is ready for that main event. He's ready for the Impact. He's ready to be champion. So I think he'll be champion this year after what happens with Kenny and Rich. So Rich won the match, so he is now TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He's also Impact World Champion, and I'm thinking they're going with the unified Impact World Champion for the whole title goes. So that's that. Now, for the brief moment I have, you guys, I want to talk to you about what might be next. Impact Wrestling General Manager. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. You guys keep the comments going. I'm going to read them in a minute. Okay, so now we have Rich Swann and Kenny Omega in the main event at Rebellion. Now, obviously, we know probably Rich Swann is losing because we're going to have Kenny Omega is going to win. I think everyone has ready Kenny Omega is going to win, but there is an off chance that Rich Swann might win. But if I'm playing this off as Kenny wins the match. Rich Swann loses. Moose comes out, confronts Rich Swann. You couldn't get the job done. Let me get the job done. So they build off Kenny and Rich, and then they build off Moose. And during, I think, Rebellion, it comes Slammiversary, right? Slammiversary is next. So Slammiversary, it's probably going to be Moose versus Kenny Omega for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. But Kenny's probably going to win because it's going to get that good AEW rub that some of us don't think Impact needs, but it's going to be Anyways, but that was the end of Sacrifice, and it was a great show. I want to hear your thoughts on Sacrifice. So keep the comments rolling in. I'm going to scroll up and down and see where it goes. Jared, as always, says hi, Cody. Hey, Jared. Dark King Gaming, as I've said before, the mist is a helpful weapon. Yeah, the mist is a very helpful weapon. It's pretty much Rosemary's entire arsenal. No, I'm just kidding. She's not. That's not her entire arsenal, but it is a very useful weapon at her disposal. Daniel Clark finally joins my streams. Yay. I like Daniel. Who knows? You may well have. Yep. That's when I was talking about bringing Reno Scum to Impact, which I probably did. Jared Woods, Enzo, and Cash should go to Impact Wrestling. As long as they're clean, they breed toxicity, but from what I've seen from the Impact Plus taping, they actually seem to be in a good state of mind, which, if proving, I'm pretty sure they'll be brought in eventually with Gallows and Anderson giving them the rub. The Ascension should go to Impact Wrestling. Now, that was the Satanic team in WWE, right? Yeah. Yeah, they should be a good team involved in Impact as well. I know this is a little off topic, but did you see the exploding barbed wire match? Dude, I've seen bigger explosions than that from CZW in Japan. I did not see the AEW show because apparently it is region exclusive. I can't order it off Fight, and I don't have any of the other outlets at my disposal. And I'm not going to watch it illegally. I'm not like that anymore. I'm not like that. I used to watch it illegally because I had no credit card. Guilty. I used to watch shows that way, but I stopped because I had a credit card and I had an account and I was ready to I was ready to support the brands. There, I said it first. But whatever. Can't hold me against because you have no idea what I was watching. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Oh, well, I don't watch illegal streams. Let's just put it that way. So Kenny Omega is challenging for the Impact World Championship. Yep. I just saw that tweet. LOL. What tweet? I tweeted a lot today. Venus de Milo, Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers. This is going to happen eventually. I picked Finn Juice to win. Yep. Same here. Well played, NJPW. Yep. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Played it good. I can see it happening. Moose deserves a run. Yes. Moose deserves to be a champion, especially after the performance he did tonight. Tommy Dreamer should be Impact Wrestling manager. No general managers. How will Heath respond to Rhino joining Violent by Design? See, that's okay. So that brings up a whole nother thing. Violent by Design with Rhino now, and they're gonna challenge. They're supposed to challenge the tag team champions once Heath is fully recovered. How is that going to happen now that Rhino is a part of VBD, and how is Heath going to respond to that? I do not know, but I am willing and waiting to see what happens. Going to be crazy good TV. Do you think Diana Perazzo is beautiful? How can I put this respectfully? I think she is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. So yes, I do, but I am not attracted to any of the knockouts in that kind of way. They are beautiful to look at, but they're lethal too. So I don't want to mess with anything like that. I think they're all gorgeous in their own special little way. And we're going to end it just on that note. I do not want to get bitch slapped. Do you think, let's just say the explosions from the match are pretty much the equivalent of a $20 box of fireworks? I saw the highlights of the exploding death match, and that was during like GIFs and videos that AEW posted, and I saw some of the explosives stuff happen, and it was like pretty much just a fireworks. I didn't see anything like singe marks or anything that triggered that it might be explosive, but I did see a lot of blood. So the barbed wire was real, wasn't the kind of the I don't want to say fake, but it was the real kind of barbed wire that causes bleeding. So that was pretty graphic. Sammy Callahan versus Trey Miguel. That's gonna happen at Rebellion. I'm pretty sure. In some sort of stipulation match, I think. All right. Does anyone else have any thoughts about Sacrifice? What match did you enjoy the most? Well, I still have you here for attention. Anybody got more comments? Yeah, the show was pretty strong. I loved it. I did miss half of it in the beginning because I had to go eat dinner and I had to wait for the stream to recover. But other than that, I loved the show. It was very strong. I'm surprised that Ace won the X Division Championship. I'm not. He had to jump through a lot of hoops to get that opportunity. He had to win the X Division, the X Super Cup. Then he had to win a tag team match, then a triple threat, then a number one contendership, and then become X Division champion. That's why I knew Ace was going to win because he was jumping through all these hoops to make him worthy enough to be X Division champion. Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards package stunner through the table was amazing. Yeah, that was dope. I loved that spot. That was a great spot. Backpack stunner through the table. That was great. Anything new going on with AC Romero? Not that I know of. He's pretty much the same as he was with Triple XL. Oh, he's lost a few. He's lost 100 pounds or so, which is good. He's getting in that top bill shape. Pretty good to see some. Pretty good to see some guy get healthy. Not saying that he's unhealthy, just saying I like his drive. Josh Alexander versus Ace Austin for Impact X Division Championship. Not a bad match. I mean, he had one with TJP, and it was great. Ace Austin versus the Walking Weapon. I'll book it. Is that the equivalent of I'll ship it for wrestling? I'll book it. Mahabali Shera versus Madman Fulton. That would be a great match. Unfortunately, I don't think that match is going to happen anytime soon. It doesn't seem like it's in Impact's cards. Anything else? Anything else? Keep the comments flowing in. I just want to read them all. Almost breaching 30 minutes. Was there any dislikes you hated about the show tonight? What was the one thing that spoke above it all? Jake something versus Rhino in a hardcore match. Interesting. Not a bad choice. Not a bad option either. Besides Caleb getting in the way as usual, not many dislikes about it. Yeah, Caleb will be Caleb. That's how I can describe about that. But I loved how they were matching gear tonight. Did you notice that? Tino and Caleb were matching gear. James Storm versus Eric Young, no rules match. These are all great matches that probably can happen, but won't happen. That makes zero sense. Anyone else notice my shirt? Ethan Page is gone. Taya is gone. Kylie Ray is. I don't know how to describe Kylie Ray's relationship with Impact right now. And then there's Tessa Blanchard right here is gone. I got this shirt from Pro Wrestling Crates. Yeah, it's an awesome T-shirt. I usually stream with this shirt on. It's my only mainly broad Impact shirt. I have a bunch of individual Impact shirts that I like to wear. Yeah, great shirt, awesome T-shirt. All right, guys, I'm probably gonna cut it right now. I heard Christian signed with AEW. Could have sworn he was just on Raw. Yeah, he's signed with AEW. Revolution, apparently. And then he's gunning for Kenny's AEW championship, which is kind of odd. See, you have AEW doing their own championship matches, and you have Impact saying it's going to be on the line at Rebellion. So there's some sort of interference and confusion between both of those companies deciding when the titles are on the line. But I expect we'll hear from AEW about the match soon when Rebellion comes closer. Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega for AEW World Championship. That's more than likely going to happen now that Jon Moxley got his rematch, and that's probably done. So now Kenny Omega moves to a new opponent. Well, anyways, guys, that's the end of my video, and thank you all for watching. And I don't know if I'll be doing a video on Tuesday because I only do my videos if there's something to talk about. And recently, Impact hasn't been putting the graphics out for me to do the videos with. So I can't talk about Impact if there's no matches to talk about. And if there's only 2 or 3 announced, I'm not going to do a 5-minute video with just those matches announced. Or I could, but I wouldn't be putting all my information into one basket, basically. So now that there's going to be a match on Tuesday with the Knockouts, I know that's going to be happening, but I usually stay glued to Impact's account to see what match is going to be announced on Tuesday. But I think the matches are done. I think Sacrifice was the last set of tapings because they're taping tomorrow. But wait, when is the 18th? Oh, okay. No. Okay, yeah. There might be one more set of tapings then because the 16th is on a Tuesday. 14 to 18 is the next set of tapings, so that's going to lead to Rebellion. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston should win AEW Tag Team Championships. Not a bad idea. Anyone got anything else? Near the end of the video. I can't think of anything more to talk about. It's getting late, and I want to watch some TV. Lance Archer versus Sting. Not bad. All right, let's move away from AEW for a second. What do you guys want to talk about more? Let's talk about Impact. What do you see moving forward with Impact? Without dream matches, what do you see happening now that Ace Austin is X Division champion? What do you see happening now that Finjuice is now tag team champions? What do you see moving forward with Moose and Rich Swann? Will Rich Swann have his own little story going forward to Rebellion, or will he just be taking a break? Will Kenny Omega appear in Impact on Tuesday? Will any of the AEW talent be coming over to Impact? Lots of questions need to be answered. Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel for X Division Championship. Not bad, but Trey Miguel is involved with Sami Callihan right now. Ah, that's good. Alright guys, that's the end of my video. Thank you all for watching. I will keep you guys updated when I go on live. You can catch me on Twitch at MiseryEater101. You can catch me on Twitter at MiseryEater101. You can catch me on Facebook if you like at Cody Simmons. I have a beanie on and a little snow graphic. I'm liking how NJPW is promoting their wrestlers' involvement on an Impact show. Yes, I like that too. That's something AEW should be doing, but don't. Yes, since Finjuice arrived on Impact, NJPW has been promoting them strongly on their own Twitter account. Now, I think that's because NJPW and Impact are on equal grounds right now. We're to define our partnership with AEW and Impact. We're at each other's throats. We're not on equal territory. We're the underdogs of this story. So them promoting Impact is beneath them, it appears. That's where this is when I go. They want to be the alphas in this storyline, which is why Impact is taking a back seat to all their little jabs and their insides and just dropping everything down. So you're probably not going to see much promoting from Impact or AEW side, but you will get their mentions. You will get their, like for instance, Ethan Page got a Impact mention on his debut at Revolution. I heard him announce a 2-time Impact Tag Team Champion, which he is. So we're probably not going to hear much. You're probably not going to see much of AEW promoting Impact, but you will see them retweet back and forth, which they have been doing for the past, I want to say, since December. That's when first Don Callis showed up. But right now, NJPW is a very strong partnership. And as you know, having NJPW have the Impact Tag Team Champions shows trust. And that's why I knew Finjuice was going to win tonight, because if they wanted to put trust in if NJPW wanted to put trust in Impact, they wanted to know how far or how willing they were to go. And putting the tag titles on their team established that their partnership is legit. It's a legitimate partnership. Exactly. Who would you like to see come to Impact on AEW's side? keep the video going. Chris Jericho. Yeah, that would be pretty fun. That would be exciting to see. I still remember that time where Don Callis made everyone in the Impact Zone say, "We want Jericho. We want Jericho." That was pretty fun. Jon Moxley or Lance Archer or Death Triangle. I would love to see Lucha Brothers back in Impact, but Death Triangle apparently is Phoenix and Phoenix, Pac. Yeah, they teased Jericho coming in a few times. I thought he was really going to come in during BFG 2018, but then I don't know what happened, but he didn't show up. But yeah, well, I'm probably going to cut it, guys. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Please stay tuned. Stick to my Twitter account. For updates. I'll probably go live on Tuesday morning if there's enough to go live on. And then you can catch me Tuesday night at the review. It was a match where Eli Drake was challenging a native New Yorker wrestler. Yeah, Eli Drake was doing an open challenge night, right? And first, the man who must not be named, the Chinless Wonder, because we can't say his name, came out. Which back then I was a fan of the guy. It wasn't until he became somewhat controversial that his name became Mud. And then Abyss came out and put Eli Drake through a table. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Jericho as well, but I don't know if that would have been. It would have been a great move, but it wouldn't have been in that moment, I don't think. Because Eli Drake coming out, Jericho coming out to Eli Drake wouldn't make sense, I guess. But it would have been cool to see. Instead, we got the Chinless Wonder and Abyss. I believe that was some of the last time we saw Abyss was the table spot. Or that was his last pay-per-view. Because then he was that was his main event, or that was his Hall of Fame induction ceremony, right? BFG. So who do you guys think the 12 knockouts are going to be? I expect some new faces. That's why Scott didn't want to give away answers tonight, because he knew there's going to be some new faces. Yeah, it would have qualified to have him because he was born in New York. Born in Manhasset. Manhasset, or do you mean Manhattan? I don't know Manhasset. Is it Manhasset or Manhattan? Manhasset a real city? Manhasset Hamlet in Long Island, New York. Yeah. Okay. Manhasset is a real city. I wish I had guests. That way we can talk to each other. But that requires an OBS studio and everything else to do. It's confusing me. No, Manhattan is what most people knew as New York City. Manhasset is part of the Long Island, sort of on the outskirts. Now you know. Yep. Now I know. Random research. Now I know. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut it short. Thank you all for watching. I've already listed where you guys can find me. Thank you all for subscribing. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, share. I said that twice. Tag me if you liked what you saw. If you liked what you saw, promote it on Twitter. I'm always looking to reach out to fans. Wow, that sounded weird. Reach out to people that watch me and share my own views because sharing is caring. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for joining me finally. Stay tuned to all the updates. Thanks, guys.